Hello everyone, salutations. So let's complete the topic of security measures in e-commerce. E-commerce security refers to principles which guide safe electronic transactions, allowing the buying and selling of goods and services through internet. Okay. So there are three major techniques of security: encryption, the second one is digital signature, and the third is digital certificate. Let's discuss about encryption. You can see in this block diagram, plain text gets converted into ciphertext or ciphertext, however you want to say, as well as it is also known as coded form of data, coded form of text. Okay, so what generally happens, for example, let's take a word telephone. Okay, so maybe T will be get replaced by A, E will be replaced with X. Okay, so similarly each and every letter gets replaced with some another letter. Okay, and the final result of the word telephone will be something which is totally gibberish, means it makes no sense. It looks like random bunch of letters which makes no sense. Okay, now telephone is a word which makes some sense, we understand what is a telephone, but if there is some combination of letters like A, E, X, T, P, something like that, okay, so it makes no sense. So similarly each and every word is encrypted in that manner, and the complete document gets encrypted, gets in coded form. Okay, so even though anybody gets that data, when the data is traveling within the network via internet from sender to the receiver, if anybody in between, any intrusion happens, any hackers try to takes that take that data, so the person intruder will get the coded form of data. Okay, so it will require a lot of algorithms to crack that code and convert that into original form of the plain text. Okay, so that requires a lot of expertise and knowledge, but data can be given security with the help of this technique that is known as encryption. Now what happens is plain text is getting converted into coded form of data or the ciphertext, and the ciphertext can be again converted into plain text by applying reverse process of encryption, that is decryption. Okay, so let's study the points. It is used on internet to protect user information being sent between a browser and a server. Here the sender and receiver. Who are the senders and receiver? Browser. A user, end user uses a browser. Okay, maybe a Google Chrome browser or any other browser. Okay, Opera browser, etc. And the server is going to provide details, provide information to the browser, to the user with the help of the browser. Okay, so encryption can be provided between these two ends. It includes passwords, payments, and other personal information that should be private. Okay, so this type of security can be given to the passwords, payment information, and some personal information which is considered to be private. It consists of two processes, encryption and decryption. We know encryption means conversion of plain text into ciphertext, and decryption is the reverse process of it. Encryption consists of conversion of plain text into ciphertext. Decryption is the opposite process which converts ciphertext into plain text. Okay. Symmetric and asymmetric are two types of encryption. Now, what is symmetric encryption? Symmetric encryption is done with the help of private key. Here, private key means a passcode or a password. Private key means the password which does the encryption, okay, will be known only to one party. Communication involves minimum two parties, a sender and the receiver, so this private key will be available only either to the sender or the receiver, only one person, okay, in the communication. And asymmetric means public key encryption, that means the passcode or the password will be available to both the parties, sender as well as the receiver. Let's discuss about digital signature, and these three techniques encryption, digital signature, and digital certificate are correlated to each other. Let's see how. So what is digital signature? It is also known as electronic signature. In the diagram, you can see there is some electronic signature with many details aside. A digital signature guarantees the authenticity of electronic document or message in the digital communication. Okay, so basically, digital signature provides what? Provides authenticity, originality. Okay, that means the message has been arrived from a intended sender. Okay, means the original sender, and the message is also authentic. That means it has come from the sender only, not from anybody else who is trying to act as a sender. Okay, authenticity of electronic document or message in digital communication and uses encryption technique, which is the asymmetric one. Asymmetric means, here we have seen asymmetric means public key encryption. Okay, so it uses public key. That means the password which is used to do the encryption is known to sender as well as the receiver to provide proof of original and unmodified documentation. So basically, digital signature gives authenticity of the electronic communication as well as it gives the proof of original and unmodified document. Third point says digital signatures are used in, so its real life application is in e-commerce, software distribution and financial transactions. So digital signature is also direct transaction between two partners. Okay. Now the last is digital certificate. So basically digital certificate, anybody means how it works. How it works. Let us understand. First of all, when two parties want to do some communication, okay, and they want to perform digital signature, they have to take the permission from some authority and avail digital certificate. So the certifying authority or the supreme authority will give the two parties a certificate. Certificate means like an approval, means these two party can do digital signature. Okay, so before doing digital signature they have to get the digital certificate, who? The sender as well as the receiver of the message. A digital certificate is an electronic password. It is what? It's an electronic password that allows a person or an organization to exchange data securely over the internet using public key infrastructure. We studied about this public key, which is also known as asymmetric cryptography. Asymmetric cryptography, which uses public key encryption. That means the password is known, or the private key is known to both the parties, that is sender as well as the receiver. So it uses public key infrastructure. Digital certificate is also known as public key certificate or identity certificate. Okay, because it uses public key encryption. Okay, so here you can see the correlation between encryption, digital signature as well as digital certificate. Means first of all, the sender as well as the receiver, they have to get digital certificate from some certifying authority or the supreme authority. After getting the certificate, they can perform digital signature, and digital signature uses encryption technique. Encryption means conversion of plain text into ciphertext. Okay, which happens in two ways, with the help of private key or the public key. But in this case, public key is used. Okay, so in this way, these three are interrelated to each other. In this, information is transferred between two authorized partners who have digital certificate issued by supreme authority. As I told you, the supreme authority is the certifying authority, means an officer who can grant the permission to perform digital signature. Okay, and as a proof, as a documentation of that conversation, they will give digital certificate. Okay, so here we come to the end of the lesson, and for preparation you have to solve the exercise and also learn the question answers which is given in the exercise. But not only that, in online examination questions are not limited to the exercise question. Okay, the questions are also asked uh, anywhere from the lesson. Any question may not be there in the answer the following, but it may be asked to write as a brief answer in online examination. So please study everything, study the complete lesson, okay, and also follow the uh, state board which has issued non-evaluative parts of the lesson. Whichever part of the lesson is declared as non-evaluative, you can skip that, okay. It is provision made only for this pandemic situation, only for this academic year, okay. So I'll stop the video now. Thank you. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Please take care and please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Thank you. I hope so this explanation was useful. Take care everybody.